hello there. I sure am glad you're here today. My name is Marty Whitney, and I'd like to welcome you to the show. I teach ARTitude adjustment, and I also teach fun art, not fine art. So if it's 3 o'clock and you're here, then you must enjoy painting, because that's what we do. Sometimes we do other media, other things, but today we're painting with acrylics, and we're kind of finishing up a job that I started on Monday. If you are familiar with what we do, let me put on a microphone. Put on a microphone that I'm not trying to, it was in my shirt. So I'm doing 2 things today. One is I'm teaching ARTitude adjustment, and we're gonna pretty well wrap up the project because I've got a lot to show you. The other one is that I'm going to see if the reception is better at this location than it is over at my RV, which is where I usually put on my Facebook Lives. So we're just gonna see. Right now it looks like I have a pretty good signal, and I hope when you come in that you will say your name, where you're from, and just say hello so I know you're here. So I'm glad you're here, and I've got a lot to do today. Tomorrow I will be doing a Facebook Live. It's going to be kind of crazy because in the morning I fly to Atlanta to meet my daughters. They are both chiropractors, but one of the chiropractors will be having a dinner tomorrow night. And you know me, I'm not going to miss a meal. No, I'll be there to support and cheer everybody on. So there'll be more about that later. Now, I want to show you the project that we're doing because I've done some more on it. I started thinking this morning, I need to speed it up because I may not have my paints with me. Can you get on the airlines with a bag full of acrylics and get away with it? Or will I be putting it someplace and not be able to fly? So we'll just see. I think I'll be okay, but we'll just see. So this is the palette that I'm working with today. Kind of crazy, but since I have painted a little bit, I'm going to just be kind of sprucing this up, make it look a little neater, and let me see if I can show you a close-up. I always hate to see people to see what I'm doing before I finish, because they'll say, ooh, that's not very good. Okay, let's just do that. This little shorebird is in the marsh, and we're just kind of making things stand out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start painting some of the details on this because it's easy to do that. And like I showed you, I've got these acrylics already poured out, but I'm using them usually right here. I'm going to be using them just to I've already got my color in there that I want, so I'm kind of just finishing this up so it doesn't look like I was in a hurry. I wasn't. Okay. And there are just some real nice colors here that you might see in a marsh, some of these little spongy things. Now, I've had a request for a particular class, and we're going to be doing it next week. While I'm working on this, I'll just tell you about it because it is a lot of fun. And we've got Christmas coming up, and I'm going to show you some ways to really wow people with some gifts. So if you like making gifts and you really want to give somebody something nice, you won't want to miss next week. I've got a couple of things, but they're all going to be done. There'll be a couple of projects, not just one, but we'll be using alcohol inks. So if you've ever thought about using it, or you do, and you enjoy them, you might want to look at what we have, because there'll be some nice nice projects that I would want to receive as a gift, and I think you would too. So see, what I'm doing is really just kind of like going over this, giving it a little bit of shading here with a lighter. Is that a pumpkin or a coral? Depends on where you are. And I'm just gonna, you'll see what I'm doing. And this is what I hope you'll do with your project. We're doing this on, it's about a 16 by 16 double wine bag. It's canvas. And I noticed a while ago, I'm over in our activities room, and I don't have some of the supplies that I usually have with me. And one of those is my big box of erasers, because I need to erase a couple of lines down here where the legs did not extend. And I'll be just erasing it lightly, because that's all, it's not on there very, very well. Just so you won't have to see those lines. This too, I would not hesitate to give this as a gift. It's stitched right down the center of the bag so that your bottles don't clank together of whatever beverage you have in there. Now I'm going to start working on this blue, and I need this. Oh, I wanted to tell you something. Have y'all ever seen this? It's decorative shred, but they have it at Dollar Tree. Maybe I'm the only one that found it, but it's so nice to put in bags and gifts, and just make something really special. It was in Dollar Tree, and guess how much? I don't have to say. But they're coming out. I mean, I'm just seeing some really sweet things lately in Dollar Tree that are going right along with very inexpensive ways to put together gifts and make them look really nice. Now this is just a lavender that I think is just going to give this a little bit of color. And I've got some blue over here. You notice I'm not real strict on myself about rinsing my brush. In fact, what helped me out here so that this color was covered easy was to just use my water and extend the color in the paint while I was painting. I haven't been in this room since, I guess, the 1st of August was when we left to go on our trip this year. And so I've got quite a bit of things to do to organize it until my first class, which will be November 11th. If anyone is looking at this that takes ARTitude adjustment. Oh, look, let's do this. Wrong one. I will just that's the wrong one again, Marty. we're going to try it one more time. And that's it. You know, how can you do this over and over and over, and then the next time, whoops, that isn't what we want. So we're just going to continue like this because you'll be able to see it better anyway. I'm about as techie as they come. I'm not. But I could do it this way. Okay, now I can see you. Okay, see this is just brightening this up a little bit, and then I'm going to work on the leaves a little bit. Now wouldn't this be a nice gift to give to someone, and then put a couple of bottles of your favorite beverage in here? This would be one of the bags they have to keep. Don't you hate it when somebody gives you a bag you can't give away? Like, couldn't, because it's hand painted, man. So, I'm really glad that you're here today. I had to spend part of my day thinking about what I'm going to take with me. Because isn't it a hassle to fly and have to think about what I'm going to check in and what I'm not going to check in? I'm going to take a backpack because I can get more of my stuff in it. Usually my backpack starts weighing a lot of, you know, don't you notice that? You know, you decide, oh, I'm going to carry a backpack because I can get a lot in here. Oh yeah, I do, but then I can't walk. And now I'm going to work a little bit on some of the leaves. I just have some little round brushes I'm using now, and I'm going to close up some of these open spaces where paint was not applied. If you wanted to go into more detail with this project, you could just by working with the leaves. I found that whenever I started doing the colors in here this morning, it really was nice. So, that being said, you just play with it a little bit, because the addition of these colors makes it very attractive. I think the coral added in with the green is just scrumptious. I've got a little bit of gray here. I'm just closing up some white space, and I'll put a little snazzy part of that would be I will be back on Saturday. Of course, we don't ever have ARTitude adjustment on the weekends. And I will see you on Monday at 3 o'clock if all goes well. If it doesn't, it's very easy for me to just say, I won't see you today. But that's what I plan on right now. Don't you love that little bird? He's just talking to me. Okay. Okay, just closing up some areas where there's some white space. Oops, sorry. There are no mistakes in my class, so if you paint over something that's not supposed to be that color, then we make adjustments. And these are just little flowers that you see in the swamp all the time. I'm going to close up some areas where there's white space. If you're here, I hope you'll say who you are, so I can say hi. Now that's a job in itself, just keeping up with where I'm painting over here. It's kind of frustrating for you, I know. When we got back, there are lots and lots of people coming in every day. When I was growing up, we had heard of snowbirds, but we didn't really know what they were. Now that I've gotten older and I'm staying in this area of Florida, I can tell you what a snowbird is. And they start leaving home usually about the 1st of October. And sometimes they stay until Mother's Day. We have lots of friends who do that. They come from, this area is filled with people from Michigan, it seems. So I have lots of friends that we've met and visited from Michigan, Wisconsin, roll call, and let me see if I can get another brush. I want a little finer brush, and I'm going to just kind of do a little bit of it's hard to look at the screen and paint sometimes. So excuse me. I'm still closing up little white spots that I run across. And I'll continue working on this. Because you know it, you do it, and then you say, oh, there's that little spot over there. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun painting this particular class, and I'm glad that you're here. I hope to see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. You know, one of my favorite places to shop when I go to Atlanta, because I love to repurpose things. And tell me if you've ever heard of this place. And it's called the Queen of Hearts in Atlanta. This one is in Beaufort that I go to, but I think there's another one there. Those people have such a nice little shop, and I love to go there. If you've heard of it, tell me. It's one of my favorites. So I could, if they'd let me, I'd do a live from there. I always go by there because guess what? It is right next door to Hobby Lobby. Yep. And I always go to that one, although I enjoy my trip to Queen of Hearts just as much as my trip to... See how pretty this is turning out whenever you just kind of work with these flowers? Yeah, they're nice. And I don't know what else to do except just enjoy this one. So tomorrow night is the dinner, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to being with my 2 daughters One is Kristen and one is Lauren. And like I said, they're both healers and they're very dedicated to their profession. Okay. I'd like to thank you for being here today, and I guess I'll look back in the recording and see if this was a good post or not, whether we were interrupted any, but I can't tell from right here, right now. So get to work on this wonderful project. If you have a bag, you can screenshot this. Let me do this. You could screenshot this guy. Remember, we don't have the guy in the background. I left him out because he didn't look like he was happy. I wanted a happy bird. Okay, and if you want to, let me come out of this. Whoops, that was even closer. If you want to screenshot this, you're welcome to do that. And just help yourself with those flowers. They're wonderful little tropical swamp flowers. And the color, you could come out with more color if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. But I'm so glad you were here today. Thank you for being here for this live. Like I said, I'm Marty Whitney with ARTitude Adjustment. I teach fun art, not fine art. And I will see you tomorrow. It's a great day to have a great day. Bye-bye now.